Hey everybody, LittleMoeGaming here. Welcome back to another episode of LittleMoeGaming at Lunch. It has been a while. How you doing? How you been? I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if you were asking me how I was doing, but yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I've recorded one of these episodes, and I've been busy. I've had a lot of stuff going on. My wife just got back from her trip to Turkey/Syria. She's been back since the beginning of the week. I took some time off just to help her get resettled and, just take some time off, spend some time with my wife. It's been about a month and a half since I've seen her, so glad to have her back safe and sound. And I'm actually doing a reshoot on this video. I actually recorded it yesterday, but I just wasn't too happy with it. And I think it's because I kind of rushed it a little bit. Now, that's not the point of these videos though, right? I mean, the point of these videos that I make, this LittleMoeGaming at lunch, right? It's that we sit down and talk about a LittleMoeGaming, a little more gaming, right? You didn't really catch what it is that I'm trying to do there. That's what it is. But let's talk about a LittleMoeGaming at lunchtime, and I try to keep it consistent, releasing these at lunchtime, whether that be on Fridays or if I make it into the weekend. So for you, either happy Friday or happy Saturday that I'll be releasing this. I'm also releasing another video. Oh, before I go into that, I wanted to finish what I was talking about there. The point of this series is not for me to stress about, how the video sounds or anything like that. It's for it to just be a relaxing thing. But, sometimes I record something and I just feel like I think there's some thoughts I could have expressed better there, or maybe there's something I didn't talk about that I regret not talking about, and I would rather talk about it in this episode. So doing a little reshoot here. And the main topic that I want to talk about today, I want to talk about Gamescom opening night live. I know I'm a little late to the party for that, but hey, who cares? I am here, and you are here, and I appreciate you being here, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about some games. And Gamescom was the most recent exciting gaming event. And in case you're wondering, I don't know how much background noise there is. Usually I don't hear any when I'm working on my videos, but I am driving home right now from work. Thursday evening. First day back on the job. Started off in a new location. Basically, it's the same location I've been working at, but we switched facilities, so it's been a little bit of a hectic day. I'm pretty tired, but I'm excited to sit down and talk about games. So this might be a long one, so buckle up, literally, because we're in the car. And don't worry, I'm being safe. But yeah. So Gamescom just happened not too long ago. And yeah, I mean, there were a lot of really fun, cool announcements that were made. Specifically, I want to mention a few that were actually announced during the pre-show event. So I don't know if you watch the pre-show events to these things. I typically like to watch it because lately they've been putting some pretty fire announcements in the pre-shows to these events. And specifically in this one, there was a few I wanted to mention. One of them was called Densha Attack. Looks really, really cool. You play as I don't remember if it was like a bus or a train, but some sort of long vehicle like that, either a bus or a train. And you're basically just kind of grinding along rails and roads and skating and doing tricks and fighting bosses, like really, really unique boss fights. And yeah, it just looked really fun. It looked unique. It looked awesome. Definitely something I'm going to keep on my radar. And then another one from the pre-show was called Long Gone. And this one was kind of in a retro 16-bit style, but it's like a zombie survival narrative type game. Looked really interesting. Definitely recommend checking out the trailer for Long Gone if you haven't. It looked great. It looked great. I don't know if I'm going to be showing any footage of the games I'm talking about here, just because I'm too lazy to cut together footage from the trailers, and I'm not doing like a official coverage of Gamescom or anything. It's just a laid back talk about Gamescom. As far as gameplay footage that I'm going to be showing here, I'm going to be showing, of course, some Death Stranding, as well as some Stellar Blade, and maybe another game or two. I don't know. I'll see what I can squeeze in there. I'll be honest, a lot of this footage is old. Specifically Death Stranding. It's been, I want to say, a good 3 weeks or so since I've actually played Death Stranding, because I took a break from it. I wanted to play Stellar Blade, and I really got hooked to the gameplay, and yes, it was to the gameplay. Yeah, no, the gameplay is actually like really incredible in that game. It's really, really good. So I'll definitely be showing some Stellar Blade and some Death Stranding as we talk about this, but just to kind of go back on Gamescom, another one from the pre-show specifically that they talked about was Valor Mortis, which is from the developers behind the Ghost Runner series, and it looks really cool. It looks unique. You play as like some sort of a soldier and kind of like a Order 1886 kind of vibe. At least that's what I got from the trailer. I only saw it once, but it looked really cool. And then we'll kind of jump into the actual event itself. So Opening Night Live, hosted by Jeff Keighley, of course, which, side note, I just want to say, I really dig what Jeff Keighley has done for the industry in regards to, sorry, I think my voice is going to get a little louder here because the road noise got a little louder. I hope it's not making this like unbearable to listen to, but I really like what Jeff Keighley's done for the industry to kind of keep that E3 spirit alive, right? I mean, we have the Game Awards at the end of the year, Gamescom here in August, and Summer Game Fest, of course, is really big. And it's crazy that all three of them are hosted by Jeff Keighley. Like he literally like took control of like the E3 game announcement thing. Of course, PlayStation has their State of Play, Nintendo has their Nintendo Direct and all that, but things have really changed. I mean, I used to look forward to E3 every year. Now we have Summer Game Fest, which is cool. Like, it's really good. It's a good replacement for E3. But I think Gamescom is probably like the E3 of today, right? Like the big event that, I always dreamed of going. I really, really always wanted to go to E3, and I don't know, maybe one day I will be able to go to one of these events, whether that's Summer Game Fest or Gamescom, what have you. I don't know. But yeah, Gamescom kicked off with some really, really cool announcements. I'm not doing a play-by-play here, but what really stood out to me, there was Lego Batman, which looked incredible. I don't know much about the Lego series. Like, I've played a couple of games in the series in the past, but I don't have a lot of experience in it. And I know it was always kind of formulaic, right, where you just go around and collect loot, you break things, you fight, and all that. And then, of course, there's a story that's tied to some sort of like a movie or something. But here, we have like a whole in-depth, open-world game, Batman game, in the style of like the Arkham Batman games. They took Lego Batman and they pretty much made the next Arkham Batman game out of Lego Batman. And I think that is awesome. It looks so good. I really do think it's the best thing to come out of Gamescom. There were, of course, some other really great announcements, like Resident Evil Requiem. Not really an announcement, but we saw some gameplay, and it looked great. And, of course, we saw some more Silent Hill F, which looks awesome. It's Silent Hill, and it's the next big one, so it looks really, really good. Of course, they ended the show with their big, like, one more thing, right? Which was Black Myth Song Key. So, yeah, we're getting a sequel to Black Myth Wukong. Or at least, not necessarily a sequel, but another game in the universe, in the series. And I think that's actually pretty cool that, this Black Myth series that came out of nowhere, seemingly, not too long ago, is actually getting, like, a whole nother game. And I think that that's really great because, Black Myth Wukong came out, and, it came out to a lot of great praise, and a lot of people loved it. It won a lot of rewards, and I just think, it's really cool that, it wasn't like a one and done kind of thing for the studio, and we're going to get more out of them. So definitely a really, really cool announcement. Not necessarily something super, super exciting in my opinion. I think, it's great that we're getting another one. I think that's awesome. But it's also kind of like, well, I don't know. Isn't it a little too soon for that? But I'm sure it's going to be quite some time before we actually see the game. I'm pretty sure this is just like an early announcement. Not really something that, we're going to see anytime soon. So, yeah, Gamescom had a lot of great announcements. And then I want to jump right into my next topic here. And what that is lately I've been seeing a lot of news in regards to Fallout. Of course, at Gamescom, we saw Fallout Season 2. Finally got the trailer. Looks amazing. It looks like it's going to have Mr. House as far as, like, how he looked before it all went to hell. And I'm assuming that means that we're going to be meeting, him in the New Vegas area. Because obviously, spoiler alert, right? If you haven't seen Fallout show, it ended with a sequence showing that they're going into New Vegas. So it's a little spoiler in the sense that, like, it was a really nice surprise, but it's not a spoiler to the overall arching story of the show. If you ask me, like, what are the characters' names, I couldn't tell you. I don't even remember. That's not to say that the show isn't, like, good, and that it's memorable or anything, but I just don't remember the characters' names. Like, I'm really, like, I'm watching the show because it's Fallout, and it does it so much justice. It's really, really good. That and the Twisted Metal show, the way that does justice to the game. But I'm going to talk a little more of that in one of my upcoming videos, which may or may not be released by the time you see this. I don't know. We'll see. Depends how far along I get with editing. But yeah, definitely look out for that. But yeah, Fallout has been getting a lot of hype lately, especially since this trailer dropped during Gamescom. And one of the biggest things that a lot of people are talking about, right, is what Fallout game are we getting next, right? Basically, and I'm going to kind of butcher this, but there was an interview recently, and I heard about this from a video that I watched from a fellow YouTuber. I say fellow because, I'm posting videos on YouTube, and he posts videos on YouTube. But he's a really great guy that I watch a lot. I follow his content. Luke Stevens, definitely recommend checking him out. He basically takes, like, different news bits and, like, interesting things in the gaming industry and talks about them on stream. And I really like what he has to say about these kind of things, so I enjoy his content. I recommend checking it out. But one of the videos he showed recently was about an interview where this guy, I don't even remember his name. Again, I'm just talking about stuff that I've heard, right? But this guy, he was doing an interview with, like, some other content creators, and I guess he has, like, a connect at Bethesda or at Microsoft, I'm not sure, who had told him that there were, like, 4 or 5 different Fallout projects being worked on, including the fallout that we've all been waiting for. And that's his exact words, right? He said the fallout that you've all been waiting for. But none of the content creators he was talking to asked him like which fallout that was, based on like what Luke was talking about in the video, and he mentions this a lot. So I'll probably link his video just to kind of like give a reference point to what I'm talking about here. Luke, I doubt you're going to be watching this video, but if you are, shout out, to your content, man. I really enjoy it, and I thought it was really interesting to talk about this Fallout situation, because no one really knows like what Fallout he was talking about, and we have, everybody has. If you ask people, right, like Fallout fans, like what is the Fallout game you're waiting for? Everybody would have like a different answer, right? Like there's going to be people who are saying they're waiting for a Fallout New Vegas remaster, which is kind of the speculation of what that could be that he's talking about. There's also people that want a Fallout 3 remaster. Fallout 3 remaster has been confirmed. It is in the works. It's being worked on. It is being made. That has been confirmed. When is it going to come out? Nobody knows. There's tell that it might have been delayed a couple of years. Like it was supposed to come out this year, but it might come out next year or the year after, because of like a bunch of different delays that happened at either Bethesda or Microsoft. I'm not sure. And then there's people who will say that they're waiting on a Fallout 5. I mean, if you ask me personally, like I'm a big Fallout fan. Any one of those 3 games sounds incredible to me. But really, I think the one that I really, really want is a New Vegas remaster. However, I will also say a Fallout 3 remaster, just to know that that is coming, like for sure confirmed, to me is really fantastic. Like, even if we never get a New Vegas remaster, which would be really tragic, I think that'd be really sad. Even if we don't get that, if we are getting a Fallout 3 remaster, to me that's wonderful, because Fallout 3 was my first Fallout game. It's the one that I have the most fond memories with, and I really would love to play that game again in a modern way. But the same can be said for New Vegas. And so right now there's a lot of hype. A lot of people think like, well, is it possible we might get like a Fallout New Vegas remaster or remake alongside Season 2, since they're going to New Vegas? I mean, you'd think that would make sense, but based on everything that I've heard, it's probably not going to happen. In fact, there's a lot of speculation. I don't even know if it's a lot of speculation, but based on the video I was watching with Luke, he mentioned one thing that I thought was really kind of depressing, and it's that we might get like a New Vegas map added to Fallout 76, and that's about the extent of what we'll get. I really do think there's enough demand for a New Vegas remaster that it just makes sense that one day we get something official, but I don't know if it'll happen anytime soon. And it would be so cool if they released, like if they shadow dropped a New Vegas remake around the time that Season 2 drops. I think that'd be awesome. Now, if they are going to do the Fallout 3 remake, there's speculation, of course, that might be tied to like a Season 3 or Season 4 of the show, where they'll release it like around the same time. Maybe in the show they end up going to the Capital Wasteland, and we see like Three Dog in the show, and you get to play the game. And yeah, that would be awesome. That would be great. But yeah, a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors. It'll be interesting to see. At this point, though, I think the first thing we're going to get from Bethesda, if anything, is going to be Elder Scrolls 6 at this point. And of course, Elder Scrolls 6 is big, and it's going to be awesome, hopefully. But who knows? I mean, maybe there's a chance that we get one of these remakes or remasters or something like that. Maybe we get like a Fallout 1 and 2 remaster or something, just to kind of like tide us over. A lot of people say that Fallout 76 has gotten better, and I haven't played it myself, and I've thought about maybe jumping in just to see what it's all about, and just getting like that Fallout experience now. But I don't know. it's not the type of game that I'm a fan of. I'm not really a fan of like live service, online kind of games. I'm sure that it's maybe single player friendly, and I think it's worth doing a little more research into that. But like, I haven't even completed Fallout 4 yet, and it's not for lack of enjoyment in the game. I do enjoy it. I think it's fun, but I haven't really completed it yet. And I think that if I was to jump back into a Fallout game right now that wasn't like 3 or New Vegas or Fallout 5, I'd probably jump back into Fallout 4 and finish that. You know, play the DLCs, get the full experience, and enjoy that. And then maybe that'll be enough to hold me off until whatever the next big Fallout game is. And of course, we have the show that is, scratching that itch. But yeah, so just wanted to get on here and talk about, a few different things gaming related, and just kind of sit back and relax. And during this long drive of mine that I drive from work to home, traffic's been slow, so I'm a little delayed, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. Like I said, I am working on a couple other videos. I'm mostly done putting together or editing my next like games that I bought video, so keep an eye out for that. That will probably release this weekend, if not early next week. And of course, I also started a new series called Little Mo Plays. If you haven't checked it out yet, I do have a complete series right now for the Hell Is Us demo playthrough, where I just played through the Hell Is Us demo. Not a long demo, came out to about maybe 6 episodes. It was a lot of fun. My first gameplay commentary playthrough thing where I talk while playing the game. So definitely the first time I did it, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And I currently am recording one for Sword of the Sea, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I got a couple episodes almost ready to upload. I'm going to try to figure out like a proper schedule for these different types of videos, because I think that's what I want to do. Like, I want to start being a little more consistent with my uploads, especially because it's just fun. Honestly, like this YouTube channel, since I started it, has just been like a really... And this almost might sound a little cliche to say, but it's been really cathartic for me. It gives me a way to like express my feelings for the hobby and talk about games, and not just games, but really whatever comes to mind. I mean, I've talked about life a lot in my videos, and I've just had a lot of good time. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and right now I'm still very small. Oh, excuse me. Right now I'm still very small. I don't have like a large following, and for those of you who do follow me, thank you. I appreciate you being there and listening to my content. And I want to try to be a little more consistent with my uploads, because I think it's also just really fun to put these videos together, and it's rewarding to be able to put it out to the world for people to see it. And I like to listen to my videos from time to time, just to not like, I don't like, I'll watch a video like maybe once, maybe twice if it was really great and I'm really feeling myself with it. Just to kind of, but I watch it just to kind of review it and see how it sounds and how it looks. And it's always really rewarding when I see that it all wrapped up really well in the end. And it's like, to me at least, seeming like quality content. And I hope that it is to you. So anyways, that was a LittleMoeGaming at lunch. I don't remember what episode this was. I think it's either 21 or 22, something like that. But anyways, I'm a little tired. I'm gonna get home, eat some dinner, take a shower, and as always, take care.